he would step across the line. Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank you all for joining me on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
And I am Terry Ricardo the Shades II. What's good, man? We back.
We are indeed back. The postseason is here. The play-ins are over. We're into the most wonderful time of the year, the NBA playoffs. We're going to preview every first-round series on this podcast. But first, we're going to give the people what they want, what we promised them, our all-NBA teams. So we're going to go ahead and kick that off now, do all-NBA, then we'll preview all the series. And that'll be a wrap, guys. So with no further ado, Terry, why don't you give me your all-NBA first team?
Well, pretty easy this year. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go homer pick, big Jalen Brunson. No biggie. You know, he balled out all year for my boys.
Already first selection were different.
Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic first team for me.
No SGA, you're MVP.
Oh, am I tripping? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. My bad. No Tatum. I got SGA. Apologies.
All right, so you got SGA, Luka.
SGA, Jalen Brunson, Luka, Giannis.
Jokic.
Yep.
All right, we only have one difference here in this first team. I had Tatum. You had Brunson.
You got Tatum in your... You didn't have Tatum in your top 5 MVP, but you got him first team All-NBA?
Yeah, I just think it's a different award.
I got you.
You know, in terms of like what Jalen Brunson did in terms of putting the team on his back while Randall is out, increasing the scoring load, maintaining his efficiency, all that is great for the MVP stuff. But when it comes to All-NBA, you know, I like to reward winning. And just in a vacuum, if you're just looking at like who are the 15 best players this season, I think Tatum is a little better than Brunson. He's 6'9", 6'10", is a much better defender. He shot 37% on pull-up threes and 57% on drives to the basket, which is more than 5 percentage points better than last season. Just with him being like a two-way player, much bigger, his positional versatility, and the Celtics just running through the league this year. I think he's just slightly a little better two-way player than Brunson, and that's why I put him in.
I got you. No, I got no complaints. No complaints at all. He deserves it.
As far as the other guys, you know, SGA led the NBA in drives per game, the leader of OKC's offense. They were number 1 in three-point efficiency. Luka won the freaking scoring title, scored 34 points a game, and shot 38% from three. Giannis, first time in NBA history that any players averaged 30 points a game on 60% shooting.
He had a great season, but his team had a controversially bad season.
Only Doc Rivers could fuck up this historic season and make sure that we can't put it in proper context. He scored more baskets in the restricted area than any player ever, including Shaquille O'Neal. He made 661 baskets at the rim. The previous season high was Shaq with 571, 90 less during the 2000 MVP season. So just unreal dominance from Giannis this season. And then, of course, Jokic. With Jokic on the court, the Nuggets outscored teams by 682 total points this season, which is the highest point differential for any player, including all of the Celtics players. Remember, they had like the 5th highest point differential in NBA history, and Jokic still finished above all them. He's the MVP. He's the best player in the league. He's got to be on the first team.
Yeah, he'll probably get MVP this year. I mean, look, if he gets it, cool. No biggie. We get to talk about I'd like to see how the rest of the playoffs go, and then we can talk some like all-time shit. Because he might, if they win, he's cracking 10 for me, for sure. 3 MVPs, 2 chips back-to-back. He's got to take it. Especially how good the NBA is. Yeah, especially how good the NBA is now. Like, he's got to take it. But, I got no complaints, bro. I mean, for me, the only reason why I put Tatum second team was just because like he didn't have any moments for me in which like he took over and supplanted himself as like a top 5 guy. Like he just was a good player on a really good fucking team. The team is awesome. The coach didn't fuck up a lot of the games. Some games, I was like, all right, Mazzulla, I feel like you should have called a timeout here. Better play call there.
Let's be really real. He's lucky Joel Embiid didn't play 65 games. Otherwise, he would have not made first team All NBA. Like that's
realistically,
the bottom line. Possibly. 65 game rule. Because
depending
otherwise, nobody would be talking about him as the 5th best player in the league.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, depending on like how people were gonna vote with like the positions and stuff, because I think it's gonna take people maybe one more season before they like truly just say,
we're going
fuck
positionless.
Just
Jalen Rose told me that positions were made just so novices can understand the game.
Jalen Rose did say that, and I was like, Jalen, shut the hell up. But nah, I mean, like, yeah, it's gonna take a while before people are actually just give you the top 15 people of the season. But we'll see. Ready for
That's
second
what
team?
I tried to do. Second team, yeah, I'll give this one since you went first. My second team: Jalen Brunson, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Obviously, you got Tatum for Brunson. Any other changes?
No, exactly the same.
Wow.
Literally exactly the same, except for I got Tatum second team. No guards on my second team. But yeah, I feel like nobody else besides maybe Ant, I really had maybe a problem trying to sneak him onto the second team. But
yeah, that was the hard one. It was like Ant versus Braun for me. That was the one that it really came down to. And honestly, I took LeBron because I felt like he's been a better scorer than Ant this season.
I think so, and especially second half for me. Like second half of the season.
Yeah.
Ant, I don't know. I mean, plus you got to remember though too, like Cat was injured for a decent amount of the second half of the season, so that's probably just why some of the numbers didn't look as well as they usually did. But no shade on Ant. He's gonna rack up for the majority of his career, so I ain't worried about that shit.
Yeah, he's going to be on these lists for a long time, but LeBron still demonstrating that he's still one of those top 10 guys.
Yeah, man.
54% overall from the field, 41% on threes on over 5 attempts a game, typical. 59% on twos. He was 6th in estimated plus box minus this year. In transition, he had a 73% effective field goal percentage, which was 3rd in the NBA. Behind only Zion and Kevin Durant. Once he gets that momentum going, there's still no stopping LeBron. And in addition to him being a better scorer than Anthony Edwards, we all know he's a Hall of Fame passer and creator and dissector.
Yeah. Not for sure.
And so,
for sure.
And I think his defense has been kind of underrated this year too. Like he's no longer the free safety LeBron that was in Miami that's like roaming all over the floor and disrupting everything.
He'll never be that again.
No, but he's now like kind of like a Draymond Greenish type of guy where he's like, yeah, I'm just in the right place at the right time all the time. I read the play. I'm fucking huge. I'm really strong. I'm going to be in the way of you trying to get you. No different. But yeah, I think his defense is actually better than a lot of people give him credit for this season. And head to head, he just edged out Anthony Edwards for me.
Yeah, me too. It was close. But the 3 points this year, man, I had to give it to him. He shot 41% from the 3, dog. That's
pretty incredible.
Awesome. He's only done that one other time in his career. In his 21 seasons of playing basketball, he's only done that once.
Well, and I don't think he was shooting as many threes as he did this season when he did that.
No, that Miami year, he was shooting 3 attempts a game. This year, he was shooting 5 attempts a game. A little less than last year. He shot 7 a game last year, and the year before he shot 8. But
the efficiency.
Honestly, the most impressive thing for me, this was his first time cracking 70 games in the past 5 seasons with the Lakers. And he finally went past the 65 game threshold. He didn't do that for the past 3 seasons. So it was cool seeing LeBron on the court almost every night. To be honest, I kind of missed him. Like he definitely has been missing since I would say since the 2020 season. I haven't really been like super impressed with LeBron. Like I kind of got used to seeing I was like, yeah, LeBron, he's him, but he's not like. I honestly didn't really think he was like top 6 or 7.
Well,
And
they
I
were
know,
doing all this load management stuff. It's like he barely played in the national TV games, like what, 40% of all the games last season? So
he
them
has
putting
really,
in
yeah. If
them
you
putting in
average,
all these 65 game limits, it hasn't been great for everybody, but it's been great for getting LeBron back on the court.
yeah, because he's been playing 35 minutes a game, which is the 35.3 is that's the third most in his Laker tenure. But I mean, it's like tied for like the first season he was there when he played 35 minutes. I mean, look, man, I'm just glad to see him on the court. You know, I think I could kind of at least give a conversation for him being back into the top 5. Like it'll be a tough, argument, but at least there's some
Come
substance
playoff
there.
time, I feel like he's at 6, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can talk yourself like, who would you rather take in a 7-game series? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'd probably take LeBron over a lot of guys, but
Right.
he played well. Want to keep it moving to the third team?
Let's give these guys some of their flowers for the second
KD?
team. Jalen Brunson, first of all, he didn't make my first team, so I feel like it's only right that we give him some flowers on the second team. Led the NBA in like the original 3-point play, the 2-point and 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Converted 79 of those, which was number 1 in the NBA. He took 128 more pull-up threes than last season and was super efficient. He was 4th among all players who shot at least 300 pull-up threes and made 37% of those. That was higher than Steph Curry and Damian Lillard. He was 4th in the league in 30-point games. He had 34 of them. He was 2nd in the league in 40-point games. He got 10 of them.
Yep.
He's just ascended to another level of superstardom this season, and Jalen Brunson deserves all the credit. Then Kawhi Leonard, number one thing, he played in 68 games.
Yep.
Like,
beautiful.
Just like LeBron, that's what we were waiting to see. He had 76 dunks, which was a career high despite missing 14 games. Shot 65% in the paint, 1.2 points per isolation, which is in the 93rd percentile. Him and Durant this season became like, I think, 2 of the only 10 players in history to score 23 points a game while shooting 55% from 2 and 40% from deep. So yeah, he was just a monster this season. We talked about
the defense.
LeBron.
The defense is back for Kawhi too.
Defense is back. He's back to the "you better not fucking dribble around me" type. Like, I got these Dr. Octopus arms that'll rip this ball right off you type of shit.
More to come with him in the playoffs though. But regular season he was awesome.
If he can stay healthy. And then this is hard for me, Terry, but Kevin Durant was sensational this year. He played 75 games.
Yeah, man.
Since he had his Achilles tear, he's never played this much. He shot 41% from 3. He made 77% of his shots at the rim, 50% of his floaters, 52% of his long 2-point jumpers. 52% of long 2-point jumpers. That's his 5th season above 50% for mid-range, which is tying Chris Paul for the most years that you've ever done that in NBA history.
I think besides Jordan, he's probably the best mid-range shooter of all time.
Yeah.
He's a fucking absolute monster. That's crazy. His game. Yeah.
And he pulls up for mid-range shots in transition, like they're layups. And just it's unbelievable. He was number 2 among all players in transition percentage, and everyone else is taking all their shots at the rim. He's the only one that's like, I'll just stop and pop this in transition.
Yep. No, he's a beast. Same thing as LeBron. This is his first time past 60 games in 6 seasons, past 70 games in 6 seasons, past 65 games in the past 6 seasons as well. I mean,
big jump.
I'm glad to see him back, man. Just glad to see him back,
And then another guy we were happy to see back, Anthony Davis, played in 76 games, which was 20 more than last year.
Is that his career high?
It's got to be close to it. He shot 58% on 2s despite taking 300 more shots than last year. He kind of got that mid-range 2 back. Lakers #1 in the NBA in clutch time win rate. With him on the floor, LA was 23-7 in clutch games. This is also the best defensive rebounding season of his career. He got 28% of available defensive boards. And the Lakers won 16 of their last 23 games to make the playoffs, ranking
he's a beast.
3rd in offensive rating. So he turned it up. He played the whole season. He's the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He was improved on offense. Anthony Davis definitely deserves to be second team for me.
No, for sure. And I think he is like a little footnote as to why I think like the NBA is so good. Because like he had a great fucking season. He almost had career highs in everything except for points. Close to blocks, but I mean, is he a top 10 player? Like he had a fantastic season, and it's like, we kind of almost forgot about him and the Lakers this season because they didn't, team-wise, they didn't really do well. But
to your point, man, if you compare these numbers to like when he was first team All NBA in New Orleans, a lot of them are better from this season.
Rebounds. Yeah. The rebounds for sure. It's a career high in rebounds, especially defensive rebounds. He didn't really get a lot of turnovers for as much as he had the ball. It's a great season, man. But these dudes these days, man, he might have to step it up another level. But I think this is probably about as much as we can get from AD.
You're going to have to step it up 2 levels if you're relying on Cam Reddish and Taurean Prince.
Nah. We'll talk about that later playoff-wise. But, yeah. Nah, AD, great season. KD, great season. LeBron, another great season. All dudes who played 70 games. Jalen Brunson, like you said, can't say enough. Julius Randle hadn't played since January 18th, if I'm not mistaken. I think Julius Randle played 46 games. Yeah, straight up. And then OG, of course. OG Anunoby's going to get hurt. That's what he does. Lovely basketball player. But he gets hurt a lot. Jalen, it's pretty much just the Jalen Brunson show, man. He carried us all season, man, to the 2 seed. So he had to get some love for me. But, it's all good. Second team is fine.
First team love for Jalen. Who's on your third team?
So third team is where I put Ant.
Okay.
A lot of guards.
Me too.
A lot of guards on mine. But this is how I feel. I got Ant, Steph Curry.
Okay.
Devin Booker.
Yep. We're all on the same page.
Jaylen Brown.
Nope, we're not on the same page.
Gotta put 2 Celtics if they won 64 games. Like, I was going back and forth, but I feel like I had to do it. And then my last one, I waffled back and forth, but I put Zion on that thing, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to put Zion on there. He had a fucking, after me talking shit, he improved, from that point on, after that playing game. Dude lost 22 pounds. He played majority of the season.
That's what happened. He was listening to HLS pod, and he was like, damn,
he balled
I gotta
out.
get my ass in shape.
He balled out, so I had to give it to him, bro. I had to give it to him. It was between like him, Halliburton, Paul George, and I wanted to put like a king, but I was like, that'd be 5 guards. I don't know, man. So that's my squad. Ant, Steph, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Zion Williamson.
So I think first off, the biggest snub is Halliburton, who a lot of people had as like an MVP candidate halfway through the season and was like top 5 in a lot of MVP stuff. And he just fell off a cliff after the All-Star break.
He shot like less than 25% from 3 for the last 30 games of the season. I just can't do that to a fucking guard in this NBA. Like, I can't do it, bro.
Which is why I couldn't do it either. He didn't make my team also.
Yeah. I love him, but yeah, no.
We got 3 of the same names. We differ on 2 of them. I had Curry, Booker, Anthony Edwards, Sabonis, and Victor Wembanyama.
So that's the biggest surprise, man. I can't do it for Victor. I love Victor. You can give me, all the generational stats and everything, but first 2 months of the season, stat muse, wasn't looking too good. And it's not mostly him, but I didn't like it. He was scoring like 19 points a game. I can't put you on fucking all NBA scoring.
You mean what fucking Tyrese Halliburton scored the second half of the season?
He's a point guard. I didn't put Halliburton on the team. You know that.
I'm just saying like the different ways that we talk about these players.
Look.
Tyrese Halliburton's 20 and 10 is worth a lot more than Victor Wembanyama's 20 and 10 for some reason, according to a lot of people.
A little bit. It's different positions, different like roles on their team. I don't know, but yeah. Look, go ahead. Give me the Victor Wembanyama. I want to hear it. I said I'd be shocked if you put him on the team, and I'm actually shocked. I can't. Come on, bro. What's going to make All NBA for 28 seasons straight?
Yep.
Chill out, bro.
Yep. Hey, I'd rather be early than late. And
no,
this is my list, so I get to have my freedom. But
go for it.
I'm going by the stats and the eyeball test, and like my eyeballs are telling me this guy's one of the 15 best players in the NBA right now.
He's a top 15 player for sure.
Like he's the best defensive player in the league. If you just the Athletic unveiled their player poll, Victor Wembanyama won the players poll, best defender in the league
for defense. Yeah, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, 3.6 blocks a game, 1.2 more than second place, 1.2 steals per game. On top of that,
he
shot 41% on pull-up threes this season. Only Duncan Robinson, Mike Conley, Jamal Murray, and CJ McCollum made a higher percentage of their attempts. You know what all those guys have in common?
They're guards.
Yeah, they're not 7'5".
Yeah.
He became the first rookie since Blake Griffin to average 20 and 10 in a rookie season. He had 21.5 points per game, 10.5 boards. In the last game of the season against the Denver Nuggets, in a monster game in which the Nuggets needed to win the number 1 seed, he had 23, 15, 8 assists, and 9 blocks when they won over the best team in the league. I just think averaging 20-10 on good efficiency while being the best defender in the NBA by far, a three-point threat, having Space Jam arms, and doing it all while playing for a team that's intentionally compiled to sabotage you with the worst supporting cast in the NBA was too much for me to overlook. I know his team sucks. I know they weren't trying to win. But you know what? With Wemby on the court this season, they did win. And they had to go to extreme ulterior measures to make sure that they lost enough games to get in the lottery. My eyes have spoken. He's a top 15 player. I'm going to be early rather than late. I put Wembanyama on the 13th.
Okay, so like the only reason I don't have him All NBA is just because the first 3 months of the season. So October, only 4 games, but
you'd agree, like just right now, not over the body of the season, but just at the finishing point. He's the top 15 player in the league right now.
He's a top 10 player. Like I'm John Morant in this shit. The dude's a top 10 player. He affects the game like too much for you to say like he's not a top 10 player. Like offensively and defensively, you can't really do a whole lot with him. But 16 points a game for the first 4 games. That's not all NBA material.
4 games? What? Is that what we're doing here?
Hey, October. 16 points a game? You get look, you gave me shit for putting Chris Paul All NBA a couple years ago when he was averaging like
with 14 points a game. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, 16 points a game. That's not All NBA material.
For
he stepped it up in
games.
November. He gave me 20. Cool. 14 games. December, dropped back down. 17.9 points a game. I can't do it, bro. All right. He's the number 1 option on the team.
What was it in April?
Who cares? I don't care about that.
Okay.
The first 3 months.
So we're going to talk about the 4 games in October, but not
Halliburton,
the fucking 15 games in April.
Halliburton missed out because for a significant amount of season, he wasn't good. Victor Wembanyama was above average to good the first 3 months of the season. Excellent the last 4, but first 3, I didn't like it. You know, I thought he was a little overrated. Defensively, I was like, this dude's a beast. Offensively, I was like, he looks lost. So look, I can't do it. You know, Zion.
I knew this is going to be a crazy pick. I knew you weren't going to be here with me. I knew I was going out on a limb. So I'm not mad at it.
I'll give him defensive player of the year. He got that all day, but no. Offense, it just wasn't there for the first couple of months. Also, I can't go for Sabonis. Sacramento did not improve. I think they're kind of capped when he's the primary, playmaker for their team. I just don't see the vision with Sacramento. Sabonis is fucking trying to get triple doubles every night. I can't do it. They're worse than last year. Stop it. I'm not doing it. I love Sabonis, but no. Sorry.
Bro,
I'm
we
not
all
out.
knew they were going to be worse than last year. Coming into this season, we were like, the Kings were super healthy last year. Everything broke right for them. Everyone in the world called that they were going to take a half step back this season. And both of us
To
did as well.
What were they, the 9 seed, though? What are we doing?
Bro, they don't have a shooting guard now. They're playing Keon Ellis, who's like on a 2-way contract.
13 on BA?
Kevin Herter missed like half the season. Malik Monk was 6th man of the year and missed a good bit. Like, for me, Sabonis, one of the most consistent players in the league night to night. He had 26 triple doubles, which is number 1 in the league. Led the league in rebounds.
They missed the
Finished
playoffs.
second in touches. Yeah, they missed the playoffs. But would I
can't
rather
do it.
have Jaylen Brown or DeMontis Sabonis? I
Probably
think I'd rather
Jaylen
take.
Brown.
I think I'd take Sabonis.
I'll take Jaylen Brown. Are you crazy?
I can always get a rim protector to put next to Sabonis, who doesn't have to do a whole lot of stuff. Sabonis
He's already
is
a
going to do everything
center.
else, man. He played.
This isn't
82
2004.
games.
It's
Bro.
not 2004. I'm not putting a third team center for no reason. Clint Capella.
As a center, he finished second in the NBA in total minutes.
His numbers are crazy.
He
There's
averaged
no denying.
over 8 assists a game as the center.
Beautiful.
Like,
Beautiful. They missed
nobody
the playoffs.
had
bro.
more touches in the NBA, or excuse me, he was second in touches in the whole NBA.
They
with
run the
the-
offense through him.
Yeah, this is my point. The Kings
And they
are
missed the
crumbling down
playoffs.
around this dude. Okay,
Zion.
they weren't as good as the Pelicans. You're right.
They lost to the
all know
Pelicans with
that.
no Zion. They lost to the Pelicans with no Zion. Just
Yeah.
remember that.
Starting a 2-way player in their starting lineup, Terry.
No Zion. Brandon Ingram beats the bonus
Hey,
head to head.
For me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't go with the 3rd or 4th best player on the Celtics over a guy
Jaylen Brown
who
is the
led
second best player. What are you talking about? This is crazy.
Derek White is the 2nd best player.
Oh
And
my god! Don't do the fucking.
I already did this when we did the All-Star shit, bro. I already
I
said
know,
this
I
fucking
know.
months ago. I've been on the same stilo. It's not like I switched.
But you don't
up here
have.
at
You
the
don't
end.
have to. You don't have to double down though. It's okay to just admit that you're wrong.
I
and we can just
tripled
keep
down
it
with
moving.
Mr. Triple Double. Okay.
Now go ahead. Give me his numbers. Give me his numbers. Yeah, I mean, you gave me most of them. He's a beast. He is a beast. But I just think there's a cap to what you can do with him being your primary ball handler, primary facilitator, like doing all that. And I would like to say, in close games, he doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Like, I would really love to see his clutch numbers. I've never really looked at him in depth because they don't, they're not moving the needle for me, Sacramento, but he's not really doing a whole lot. He's not giving me buckets. Rebounds are cool, but he beats Anthony Davis every time he plays
cool
him.
In your
but-
book, apparently leading
Nah.
the NBA is not as important as being the 3rd best player on the Celtics.
No, it's
I
not.
don't know if you realize this, but defense doesn't end until you get a rebound, and
That's what
Kings
people
suck
say.
ass at defense. So
He didn't
without
lead the
his-
league in defensive rebounding. He led the league in rebounding, but he didn't lead the league in it, though.
Well,
Can't
he
do
was top 3 in defensive rebounding. Like, come on now.
Probably.
Listen, this is what we wanted. We wanted some division. Obviously, I'm always going to lean towards the bigs. Like, this is who I've been for 10 years. If it's a
Yeah, for
two-way
sure.
tie, I'm going to give it to a big because I think they're a little more impactful defensively. And on top of all the shot creation, 8 fucking assists per game for Sabonis. Jaylen Brown
beautiful.
couldn't average 8 assists if you combine 3 years of his career together.
Nah, it's beautiful, man. Good for him.
The other
19.
guys,
Out the playoffs.
I'm happy both of us had Curry in there. I was kind of worried with the way the Warriors season went that, he wasn't going to make this 3rd team. Warriors finished the season 27-12 to make the play-in, despite missing 27 games from Draymond Green, 25 from CP3. Andrew Wiggins looking like he basically missed the entire season and forgot to tell
Yeah.
himself.
He did it again.
Even a down year, Curry averaged 26 points per game. He shot 41% from deep on 12 attempts per game. His 6th season in a row shooting at least 40% from deep on at least 10 3-point attempts, which is a fucking record of 5 seasons. considering no
break.
one else has ever
He's
done
gonna
that
break.
more than one time. He's
Yeah,
done
he's gonna
6
break all
times.
those. He's gonna break all those. He's a beast. Did he go
Let-
50, 40, 90 this year, or did he didn't shoot 50 from the field?
I don't think he shot
45.
50 from. Yep, but
45
he
from the field is pretty bad.
led the NBA in clutch time points. Was
Did.
32 of 70 from downtown in clutch time. With the
Yep.
next player on the leaderboard only making 13 threes, he made 32.
Yeah.
And he only had 9 turnovers in 150 minutes of clutch time possessions. Cut down on that Achilles heel. But honestly, Terry, the only way to really appreciate Steph Curry is to wonder what the Warriors team would be without him, which is a bottom 5 offense and one of the worst teams in the NBA.
Yeah, nah. This was all-time low season, I would say, and they still won 46 games. It's like the opposite of Sacramento. Sacramento, they lost a couple guys, bloobity blah, whatever. They both won the same amount of games, and realistically, I would say, Draymond, if he actually played in the majority of the games, what are they? You think 53 win team, 52 wins? Like
if he didn't miss 27 games,
yeah, like that's it. They're a 50-win team. Come on. So it's hard to put Steph out. Steph is a top 15 player in the league. Nobody else. You got to take the spot too. I'm not just gonna give you a spot. Like, you got to grab it and take it. Like Steph is a fucking all NBA
you
player.
did give one to Jaylen Brown, so
Hey, he got it last year. He got it last year. Yo, look. If it's up to the money, I feel like no money implications involved. He probably wouldn't have got it last year. His All NBA status, but
yeah.
This year the team won 64 games. I got to put 2 guys from the Celtics.
I understand.
Jaylen Brown.
I
He played well.
understand
Jaylen
the
Brown played
logic.
well. Even go back to the Denver game. Dude scored 45 in that game or something like that when they almost beat the Nuggets in Denver. By the way, great game. Jason Tatum was missing. Jaylen Brown stepped up. Every time Tatum is missing, Brown steps up.
Go back to the games against the Hawks where he was invisible and DeJounte Murray was cooking his ass.
I get it. So you were doing the Kawhi thing for you, where like I saw Kawhi play against LeBron, and I was like, I can't do Kawhi All NBA because LeBron cooked him for fucking 3 matchups. And you saw Jaylen Brown do nothing against the Hawks. I get it. It's certain games that you see, and I understand.
I feel like the Celtics' top 5 players are all like, besides Tatum, are all like number 3 options on a championship team. Like all 5 of them. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah,
like a championship winning team for sure.
Yeah, like they're all type of Chris Bosh level players. You know what I mean?
I got you. Hey, look, Jaylen Brown was I would say the number 1 option on a team that took the Warriors to 6 games.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago, but
he was.
Hey, look,
it was the best player in the playoffs.
It's fine.
For me, I had to have Booker in there. He
can I ask you a question though before we go to Booker?
Yeah, go ahead.
You like Şengün or Sabonis?
Going forward, I like Şengün.
No, just right now.
This season, I like Sabonis.
All right, now go ahead. You're about to hit your Devin Booker.
Yeah, no, I just I felt kind of bad for him this year because they made him play point guard, and he's like, dude, I'm just good at passing. Like, I'm not a fucking point guard, but that's kind of the role that they threw him into. He can beat every coverage in the NBA. Like, if you don't put 2 on the ball, he's probably just going to pull up and go for 50. He had 3 50-point games this season. He became the 10th player in NBA history to average 27 and 7 on 60% true shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Played rugged defense.
Him and
two-way
LeBron.
player, 100% solid shooting numbers, 49% overall, 36 on threes, 55% on twos. But the thing that I really cared about, Suns outscored their opponents by 6 points per 100 possessions when Booker played without Durant. So he definitely showed the ability to like raise all the boats around him and let them breathe with KD off the court. He's just like a two-way star who can defend. He can create possessions for others. He can finish them himself. And they didn't even maximize his skill set. Imagine how good he would have been if they had a real point guard.
If he was off the ball. I am one to still think they don't really need one, unless they want to trade Bradley Beal or something, or make Beal be a fucking point guard. I don't understand why Booker has to be the dude, but I think this was I mean, parts of last year, but last year he only played like 50 games. But this year, for me, and it's probably I'm a little late to the party, but I think he really showed and proved that he could actually lead a team and like win playoff games, by himself, and doesn't really need anybody
Didn't
else
need
to like
KD.
do things for him. He was a beast this year, bro. A lot of and honestly, for a guard to shoot 50% or like close to it is really hard in this NBA because like motherfuckers are tall and you guys are short.
And he lives in the mid range.
Yeah, and he shoots tough shots like every single year,
Yeah.
game after game, and he's a beast, bro. I got to give it to him. He's got the top 15 spot locked up. He should be all NBA for the rest of his career if he hits 65 games. Like, no
I was
discussion.
debating putting him on the second team, but I just couldn't do it.
No, he was close.
And then Anthony Edwards, who we both agreed could have been on the second team as well, but I just had LeBron edging him out. Cat went down. Yeah. He stepped up the offense. He kept them afloat. He had a higher usage, but he didn't turn the ball over more. Yeah. His assist rate went up. His turnover rate stayed the same. The Wolves had a 6.1 net rating when Edwards was on the floor and Gobert was on the bench. And their defensive rating was still in the 80th percentile during those minutes. So it's like not the best in the league, but still really, really good. But their offense fell off a cliff when Anthony Edwards went to the bench. And that's been the case the whole season. So I just think two-way player, took increased scoring burden, kept the efficiency, improved as a playmaker, and, a nuclear rim attacker. When he's in the air and there's a collision that's about to be happening, like it feels like the whole arena stops.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. I think he's a lot of people's favorite player just because of the highlights. Like he's an absolute highlight machine. But nothing. That's it, man.
That's the third. I'm gonna ask you though. Do you want to make a
Booker
case?
Or Edwards? You still on Book?
Right now, I'm still with Book.
All right.
Right now, I think next season maybe, or you know what? This actually leads into our playoff predictions.
Playoffs.
It could be this postseason that Anthony Edwards kind of takes the torch from him and says, "I'm the best two guard in the league."
Because
could be right now that it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make a case for your guy Jaylen Brown? I know I talked a lot of shit. Yeah.
I mean, all right. Look, I don't really have to make like a serious case. I think he deserves it. He's probably
right. He doesn't have a serious case. You're absolutely right there.
He's probably going to get it because he's the second best player on a 64-win team, which is, and I think what their rating, their scoring differential is like the fifth best all time or something. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? 23 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3.6 assists. I wish the efficiency and everything was. I wish the efficiency was better, but second best player on one of the best teams of all time. Regular season wise, I think they're going to get 2 guys. That's all. He's consistent.
They deserve 2 guys. I just wasn't going to be the dude to do
it. I got you. Well,
all right,
get into the playoffs?
Yeah. So that's our all NBA teams. You want to start in the West, then go to the East?
Yeah, you want to go 1-8? Or actually,
let's do it, baby. Pelicans Thunder.
What are you watching this one?
Yeah.
Or is this one that's on NBA TV for you?
No, I'm watching this one.
Okay.
If nothing else, I'm watching this one just to watch Herb Jones guard SGA. Like that is all the theater I need. I'll bring my popcorn. I'll bring everything else. Let's do our little analysis. I got 3 questions for each series. Then we kind of have our bottom line and we'll give our picks.
All right, go for it.
Number 1 question. Can Herb Jones stifle SGA for a game or 2 and pretty much shut off the water and allow the Pelicans to win a couple games?
Oof. Nah, I don't think so. They do have like good defenders for them. But SGA is SGA. You're not going to stop him. Really, what you need to focus on is trying to stop everybody else. Like, I think that's going to always be the recipe till the end of time. The Pistons kind of gave you the blueprint. You can't stop a star. A star cannot be stopped. Like, can you hold them to less efficient? Possibly. But I think in this NBA, these dudes are too fucking talented. They work way too much on individual skills. So I don't think, Herb Jones or anyone in there. Scottie Pippen couldn't even stop SGA. Like, nobody can stop these dudes from scoring. It's not fucking happening. All right. So, like, Herb, do your best, play well, do what you can do. But at the end of the day, they don't really have Zion healthy, man. So I don't really think this is really like a long discussion we need to have. Like, he's going to be probably coming in towards the end of the series.
They're saying game 5,
which... and it could be wrapped up by then. This could also be like one of those series where like the games are going to be close, but they'll sweep them. Kind of like Denver and the Lakers last year. Like, the first game, because we're doing this on Monday, we already saw game 1, but first game was 94-92. OKC definitely like lollygagged for a bit during the middle of the second quarter for me, and they kind of let them back into the game. But the Thunder are better than them, especially with no Zion. I think they're going to win every game. I think it's a sweep. Go ahead, give me your other questions though. I mean, this is on NBA TV for me, bro.
Yeah.
1-8,
Wow.
Fuck out of here.
Well, I think the thing that kind of pushes it to NBA TV status for a lot of people is Zion being out. If Zion was playing from game 1 and not coming into game 5, it's prime time. But even so, the Pelicans are so deep that I'm still interested to see. And this the Thunder's like first real postseason with this crew. Yeah. There's no Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder in town.
Nope.
Other questions that I had: can the Pelicans punish the Thunder on the boards? Their only real big is Chet Holmgren. They got Jonas Valanciunas and Larry Nance. JV in particular, kind of eats down there on the block and getting second chance points. If they can put Chet in foul trouble and make them play the big Jalen Williams, that could be kind of a pressure point. Do you think they can punish the Thunder on the boards?
I think they can, and they did game 1. But I think the thing is, like, I don't know if teams are, like, scared to kind of do it to the end of the game, because Valanciunas' first game got 20 rebounds. It's kind of similar to what Steven Adams did last year, or the year, maybe 2 years ago. Remember when they were playing the Lakers?
Yeah.
In that series, and you were like, he can punish them, on the boards and all. Or no, it was the Warrior. Whoever they were playing. I forget who they were playing, but he can do it to an extent. But then when it gets to the end of the game, if he's not scoring at the end of the game, then it doesn't really matter. He's going to get off the court because Chet Holmgren on the other end is like going to hit those wide open threes when he gets the chance. So it kind of, I don't know. I don't know if the coach is going to, I don't know if Willie Green has got the balls to do it, for the majority of the game.
He's got the balls. He benched Brandon Ingram down the stretch of the fourth quarter.
That was cool. But he didn't finish out Valanciunas, because Valanciunas got 20 boards, and he still, at the end of the game, just put him on the bench. He was like, nah, I don't think it's working. So, it's up to the coach,
they can ride it in the first 3 quarters,
Maybe. But you got to have a big lead, though.
Yeah.
And they did not.
My other question, and this is, I couldn't make my mind up between this question, so I'll just give you both of them.
Go ahead.
One, is Jalen Williams ready for primetime to ascend to be like a star in the national consciousness? And 2, can CJ McCollum hide enough to survive?
I don't know about McCollum. I think Jalen Williams is ready. Like, especially with the shots that he gets on this team, he's definitely ready to step up in some big moments for them. And he has, like, all season. So he's definitely got that.
I just think people haven't been watching a whole lot of Thunder games, and with SGA kind of pulling all the strings, they haven't realized how good of a player Jalen Williams is right now. He's a guy like who I legitimately considered for the All-NBA third team as well. I would have put him above Jaylen Brown.
Wow. You think so lowly of Jaylen Brown?
I think this is kind of like the beginning of his launching pad, where everyone kind of gets on board and is like, oh, wow, this guy he's really one of them. Like, he's a beast. I mean, top 20 player in the NBA.
The main reason why they don't watch OKC is because you have to have a league pass to watch OKC. I mean, how many fucking national TV games did they get this year? Like, less than 7? Like, if I gave you an over-under, what would you set it at? Like, 6.5?
Somewhere around there.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, fortunately, that's usually the games I've been watching recently, just because, married life, we kind of work the same schedule. We're home at the same time. I just
Oh, that's
watch like
nice.
the late Western Conference games. So like 10 o'clock when you sleep, I've watched a lot of Sacramento, a lot of OKC. Unfortunately, I watched some fucking Portland. I've watched a lot of late West Coast games, but this team is ready, bro. The real question
Yeah.
for me is Gordon Hayward going to score
No.
10 total points in this fucking series?
No.
How's that trade looking out for you these days, Garrett?
Well, remember, a big part of that trade was that they can repackage his salary next year and get another star. In terms of adding to their team this postseason, is not looking good. Even Josh Giddey is looking more reliable than Gordon Hayward, who's contributed nothing. Despite all that, though, the bottom line for me is like the Thunder, third in offense, fourth in defense over the regular season. They have a legit MVP candidate. They have an excellent coach who I feel like can navigate the first round of the playoffs. And Zion is out until Game 5. So
that's the
I'm picking the Thunder in 5.
I think the Thunder are going to sweep them, but oh man, we're missing a fucking generational talent in the playoffs, man. If anybody saw that playing game versus the Lakers and the Pelicans, Stu Zion was
hardest charge LeBron ever took.
Stu Zion was an absolute tank, man. He brought them all the way back, scored 40 points, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened to him, but we won't get to see him. 1 year we're going to see him, and I think the narrative on him is going to change, but for right now, no Zion. The Thunder got this. It's wrapped up. Maybe Thunder, they might win one.
You're game, going Thunder in 4?
Yeah, I think the
sweeping it. All right, I win Thunder in 5.
Yeah.
Next series. Nuggets versus Lakers. Game 2 of this series did happen last night. The Lakers blew a 20-point lead to allow Jamal Murray to hit a game winner over to Anthony Davis to ice the game.
If I'm being serious, I don't even think they blew it. I think the fucking Nuggets just took that shit.
They just won that shit. They're just like, trench warfare.
They dog walked them down, bro. This is what they do, though. Like, the Nuggets are the best team in the league. That's why I wanted them to dominate a little bit more, this season. But honestly, is this your favorite matchup throughout the whole playoffs? Or no?
No, because we already saw it last year, and I don't want to give away my pick just yet, Terry. But I don't think this series is going to be particularly competitive. The questions that I do have for this one. Who's the real D'Angelo Russell? Like, after turning into a fireball on offense the last 4 months of the season, D'Lo scored 13 points on 20 shots in Game 1. He was 1 for 9 from 3. Yeah. The second game, he was on fire in the first half, disappeared in the second half.
Yep.
Is he the guy who lost versus the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals last year, and they were about to just walk away from the team? Or is he the microwave jack-all-trades scorer that we've seen in the regular season?
Yeah, you know who he is. He's somewhere in the middle of that. I would say probably... Look, man, it's up to him, bro. I can say what I want, but it's really up to him. He just has to be aggressive. If he stays aggressive, he's going to be more like the microwave. But if he turns into a passive, like, I don't want to shoot type guy, he's going to suck. I think he should definitely just stop worrying about LeBron. Don't give him the ball. Just shoot, man.
Don't fit in, fit out.
No, just shoot. Straight up. Literally, just shoot the ball. Like, you have to just be yourself. And I don't want to do a soccer analogy. I was going to do the Jack Grealish thing. But I would just say you have to be yourself. You have to fit in for what you can do for the team. You don't have, just because LeBron and AD are on the court, that doesn't mean, you have to give them the ball.
That doesn't mean you have to stop doing stupid shit, D'Angelo Russell. Okay?
You just got to play, man. You got to do you. But defensively, he's the weak link, and the Nuggets kind of attack that for majority of the game. So that's really on the other side, I would say, why he has to be so aggressive offensively. You got to make up for it because, he of course, he has good hands and he'll get some deflections and stuff. But defensively, his feet are slow. He's not really doing a whole lot of defense. But, I don't know, man. There's nobody else for them to play. Like, Gabe Vincent isn't going to do it.
You remember when we were like, oh, he just played in the NBA championship. He's going to be a difference maker. That was fun.
He was hurt.
That was a fun time.
He was hurt for a lot of the season, but yeah, it's tough. Go
The
ahead.
other things I'm looking at is the bracket coverage on Jokic. You know, they're putting Rui on him. They're letting AD be the help roamer. They're probably going to try LeBron on him at sometimes to let AD kind of roam again.
Because LeBron can foul him and the ref won't call it.
Exactly. It's like, can the Nuggets role players punish them for that? You know, can they, in those moments that they play 4-on-3, are they going to hit enough threes? Are they going to actually be able to cut to the basket and punish this? I think that they can enough. You know, I still think it's probably their best solution for the Lakers. Rather than just putting fucking Anthony Davis on Jokic, I feel like he has to be a helper. But the Nuggets are so good at making him help from like far as fuck away that they'll put like Aaron Gordon on the strong side corner, like all the way on in the corner, damn near out of bounds, and then have Jamal Murray and Jokic run something on the other side of the court. And now Anthony Davis has to cover like 25 feet just to get to the rim to contest this. And if he does go all the way over there, now it's just like a 3-on-2 rondo that the Nuggets run on the other side of the court.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they have an answer to stopping Jokic. I don't think the bracket coverage is going to work against a team that's this adept at like attacking space and winning those 3-on-2s.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it really, realistically, the actual problem is like the non-LeBron minutes, and they haven't figured it out ever since he's been in LA. Pretty much his whole career, besides some maybe of the first and second season when he was Miami and D Wade was actually like really good, but no team has really figured it out, man. I mean, like LeBron is who he is. He's the fucking sun. You know, your team is gonna orbit around him. Like he is the guy. You know, so unfortunately, D'Lo, AD, and I think AD played as well as you can, you know, want someone to play when LeBron's on the bench, but it just didn't matter. You know, I feel like the Lakers are trying to do the tire out Jokic shit. That's not going to work, bro.
He don't get like tired. Even though
he looks like
fat,
he's tired.
He's not. Yeah. The man
dude's
has a motor that runs hot. It's like a diesel engine. Once he gets rolling, it's like he might play 40 minutes.
Yeah. Every single person on the court has trained their whole fucking life to be in this situation. You're not going to get them tired where they aren't going to perform to like their peak level. Like it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Like they might look exhausted, but they practice so much at exhaustion. They're going to hit the fucking shots. It doesn't matter. One, that's the biggest thing for me. The non-LeBron minutes. Two, you can't just fucking put Rui out there as center and expect him to stop Jokic 1-on-1. That's when Denver really made their comeback. Jokic just got 3 buckets back to back to back. Easy as fuck in the third quarter when they were making their 20-point comeback. 3 for me, they can't guard guards. I'm sorry. Austin Reeves is not a good defender. Yeah. Austin Reeves is not a good defender. Gabe Vincent isn't a great defender. And Russell's a horrible defender. You can't guard any guard. So Jamal Murray's going to eat. He didn't play well last night, but I think he played well game 1. And all of last year, he played like fucking Kobe in his prime. So
at least he played well in the fourth quarter. You know, what did he have? Fucking 14 points or 12 points in the fourth quarter. He played
well the last 6 minutes he played like extremely well. But the best scenario happened last night. You still lost. It's one because you just like LeBron tried to like control the pace like the whole third quarter and all this type of shit. You ended up scoring 20 points in the third, and Denver scored 25. You're gonna lose. I'm sorry. You got to score. You scored 40 points the whole second half. Just be aggressive, man. Like when LeBron's off the court, guys, you guys just got to be aggressive. Fuck it.
Yo, you got to go for it. To your point, Terry, I think like the type of team that will really give the Nuggets problems are just the teams that are like, we're doing the Suns like 7 seconds or less. We're going to take up 130 shots in this game, and like we're going to live and die by the 3 and go supernova. If you try to like make it a slow plotting game where you have to match possession for possession with the Nuggets,
too efficient.
Yeah,
they're too efficient.
It's not going to work. I know that's how LeBron wants to play, but it's like you're going against the master right now of this, which is Jokic. They get a great shot every time.
Yeah, and I think the Lakers.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
My last question for this was: will the refs hand the Lakers a tight game?
You honestly, mentioned last night they played it pretty fair, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You mentioned LeBron could foul the fuck out of Jokic, and they're probably
Yeah.
not going to call it.
Mm-mm.
Lakers have been elite in terms of both sides of the foul this season. They're second in drawing fouls. They are second in conceding fouls, while the Nuggets rank 28th and 18th in those categories. We all know the calls that LeBron tends to get in the playoffs. They did a lot of belly aching last night. D'Angelo Russell was tweeting about we lost this game because of this missed call in the third quarter. Everyone could see that this is a missed call.
Did you see the call? Did you see it?
No.
It was interesting because
it's the third quarter. Like,
no,
that's
but
not why you lost the fucking game.
No, for sure. But like that call was just interesting because like the Nuggets challenged the call. Like clearly Porter hit him in the head, but they said because he already released he shot it at the backboard, he missed the layup. But they called he got hit in the head, like after the ball was out of his hands, and then they said marginal contact at best when he slapped him in the head. Like every single like 98% of people on Twitter, even Nuggets fans were like, "Wait, what? Maybe I just don't know the rules of basketball. What the fuck?" Like they won that challenge. It was a strange one, and they gave the Nuggets the ball because they said Russell lost it, which is fucking hilarious. But
so do you think with all that belly aching and LeBron knowing that he's going to dominate the calls, that there's just going to be one game like in LA that the refs are just like, yeah, you shoot 20 more free throws than the Nuggets are.
Nah, Denver is going to win. It doesn't matter. Like the Lakers, they play excellent defense on Jokic. It's everyone else that kills them every single time. It's always Porter. It's always Caldwell Pope. It's always Gordon. It's always Murray. Murray scored 20. Porter scored 22. Gordon scored 14. They can't stop the other guys. They can give Jokic fits, but they can't stop the other dudes.
I mean,
then
if holding a guy to 20, 20, and 10 is giving him fits, then sure.
No, I mean I'm saying like for the majority of the game until he just waits until he gets his matchup and then he'll just go at you. Like AD was in foul trouble. Then instead of leaving Jackson Hayes, because I don't really think Jackson Hayes played, I would say, more than 10 minutes in the game.
He shouldn't have played more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, he played 6 minutes. Rui can't stop him. As soon as Rui was one-on-one with Jokic, Jokic said it's my time to eat. So look, they played the best they could play. They just can't beat the Nuggets unless LeBron has to clutch up, AD has to clutch up, and LeBron blew a wide open 3 for at least like it could have been like an overtime game if he hits that 3 and like maybe the Nuggets hit a 3 to tie it, but it is what it is. They got to hit the shots when they're open. Rui missed a bunch of open 3s. Reeves, kind of disappeared. Russell disappeared. It'll be a good series, but ultimately I think Denver is just a better team. It is what it is. LeBron's 39. Yeah. If LeBron was 35, I'd be like, all right, Lakers got an actual chance. But LeBron has to pick his spots.
Bottom line, you're right. The Nuggets are a better team. And it's just kind of a style that's unfortunate for the Lakers.
Yeah.
We mentioned before, like, LeBron wants to be exacting and play 4D chess and, like, slow the possessions down. Mm-hmm. And this ain't the team to do it with. The Nuggets have the best starting 5 in the NBA, and it wasn't particularly close this season.
They're great.
The Lakers finished the season with a plus 0.6 scoring margin with Anthony Davis and LeBron James on the court together, which was the worst out of any of the 18 teams with a winning record in the regular season. Yeah. And so you're literally taking probably the worst starting 5 in the playoffs and be like, go punch for punch with one of the best in NBA history. And in this case, I think the arm's a little too short to box with God. I am taking the Nuggets in 5.
Yeah, Lakers bench scored 6 points. Nuggets in 4. It's a sweep, bro. They can't beat the Nuggets. This is the 10th game losing to the Nuggets in a row. They cannot beat them. Yeah. They don't have a bench. Taurean Prince, Gabe Vincent, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish.
Don't forget about Cam Reddish.
I said him. He didn't play a single minute.
Even J. Cole is shouting out in songs saying, like Cam Reddish, I could have been a star if I had time to develop.
Yeah.
What? Cam Reddish started on the Hawks in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. Then he started on the Knicks. Then he started on Portland. Then he started on Los Angeles. You know what's the only thing he has in common in all those stops? He ended up on the bench.
The inevitable benching. Yep.
Yeah, I think he got plenty of time to develop. Sorry, J. Cole.
3-6.
Suns versus Wolves. Now,
intriguing.
we
Battle
have
of the guards.
ourselves a series here, sir. My first question, tip of both of our tongues when we talked about Rudy Gobert for Defensive Player of the Year. Can he play more than drop coverage? The Suns live in the mid-range
No.
with Durant, Booker, and Beal. Gobert just wants to sit at the rim, and the Timberwolves generally are happy to just let people take mid-range shots. That is not going to work in the playoffs. He's going to have to get up at the level of the screen. Gobert is going to have to be in space. Can Gobert play more than drop coverage? Can he survive, Terry?
No, he cannot. You know that. You know he can't do it. That's all he can do. I love him, but it's not a great matchup for Minnesota just because like they don't exactly drive to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Even though Minnesota won game one.
The Suns, they're like, we'll just stop here at the elbow and pop.
Yeah, so it's not really like the best matchup, but it just look. I love Rudy, but he's gonna do the same shit he always does. Absolutely nothing in the playoffs. All right, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of him doing the same old Houdini act on everybody every fucking year. But here we are, man. You got a second question? Really, to me, I like this matchup as well, but it's really just Edwards and Booker for me. And KD's going to do his thing as well. But
let's talk about him. That was my second question. Can Edwards leapfrog Booker as the best shooting guard in the game?
Because I think he already leaped him.
If you just judged off game one, you would have thought he did, where he scored like 12 straight points and was talking shit to the entire team and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And everyone with a pulse on the court, and he just turned into an absolute super inferno.
Yeah.
But, Booker has the postseason experience. He's the guy who's been to the finals. I think he's been a little better this regular season. Mm-hmm. He's also a good defender. Even though just because he's light-skinned and kind of doughy, he doesn't get a lot of credit.
I think Luka kind of messed up his standing as a defender.
Which is tough. Who's going to check Luka like that? But what do you think?
Nobody.
You think Edwards already leapfrogged him? Is that what you think?
I think Edwards is a better two-way guy, bro. He's a better leader, for sure.
Okay, and I'll give you that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think Booker is way more skilled, but Booker's 27 years old. How old is Ant? 22? 21?
24?
Is he that old? Hold on.
I'm not going to look it up.
I'm looking it up. He's 22. Yeah, he's 22 years old, bro. 22 versus 27. At the same age, Edwards just got him. I think Edwards is a better player. I just like Edwards. Maybe I just like Edwards more. I don't know. But
I think that's fine to say that you just like Anthony Edwards more. I think at this moment, Booker is a better creator for his team.
Show and prove. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't think that's Ant's game. I don't think it's ever really going to be his game. But he did get 6 assists last night, though.
Yeah,
but,
I feel like they're about equal as scorers, but Booker is still, a better facilitator. They're about equal as defenders. Anthony Edwards is a better one-on-one defender in isolation. Booker's a better team defender. For me, I still have Book as the best shooting guard in the game, but this series could change everything, and Edwards could snatch that crown right off his head. And then my last question, Terry. Will Karl Anthony Towns wilt in the postseason again? I feel like there are two big different outcomes. One, we could see him bully Kevin Durant and get him into foul trouble.
Yeah.
Two, we could see him throw a no-look pass to the other team when down 5 in the fourth quarter. And I feel like both of those things are going to happen in this series. He's off a meniscus tear, so we shouldn't expect him to be dominant. But do you think he can be a contributor to playing winning basketball in the playoffs?
I think he can, for sure. He adds value to this team offensively, for sure. And defensively, he does some stuff.
Nowhere to hide against the Suns, though.
Not really, but I mean, his other teammates on the everybody else on the team is so good at defense. He doesn't look as bad, and it kind of, when you watch majority of the games that they played this year, they kind of did go cat hunting, big cat hunting, getting after the lion or whatever. But I don't know, man. I mean, these are two pretty even teams. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's all about who gets hot at what moment. And in the last game, Ant just happened to do a spurt where kind of, put the game away. But it's a tough one. I think Cat is definitely a positive guy for Minnesota. They need him to play well. If he doesn't play at least decently well, they're going to lose. So he scored 19 in the first game. They won the game by 20. If he at least scores close to what his averages are, I think Minnesota takes this pretty easily. But, Phoenix, KD, he's a top 15 guy all time. I think he's got to step up.
What's your bottom line? Who are you taking?
I got Minnesota, man. Minnesota in 6. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's probably going to go 7, but for some reason my gut is telling me Minnesota's winning 6.
I'm taking Phoenix in 7. I feel like they closed the year really hot. Last 45 games, they were 30-15. We started to see the team that we thought was going to be here from the start of the season. At the end, they're not super deep, but they're starting 5 or plus 11 per 100 possessions. The units with Eric Gordon or Royce O'Neal were nearly as good. All you need is 7 players in the playoffs, especially if they can stay healthy, especially in the first round. I think just this is like a styles make fights type of thing. And if Rudy Gobert can't be a positive defender and a positive anchor out there in space, tight margin, I'm going to give it to the Suns.
I got you. Hey, Devin Booker, you gotta score more than 18, bro. Fuck out of here, man. Come on now.
Quit putting 2 on the ball, man. I'm just trying to improve.
I ain't trying to hear that shit. That's pathetic. If you're one of the top 15 guys, you gotta score more than 18 points, bro. Stop it. If Ant scored 18, the Minnesota would lose by fucking 25. Come on, bro. All right. Ooh, this might be your favorite.
Mavs versus the Clippers.
Yep.
Is this playoffs going to be the same old story for Kawhi in LA? He played 68 games this season, but missed the last 8 games of the regular season. Hasn't played since March. He missed game 1, and the Clippers won. But when he returns, will he be 100%?
It's up to him. We don't know, man. We can't rush him either. It's kind of like we're waiting on Kendrick Lamar's response to Drake. We can't rush him. We can only wait and hope it happens. So, hey, look, but they won game 1. They bought some time. James Harden played well. He played fantastic, actually. Russell Westbrook, I love the way he played. Terrence Mann played well. But I think Kawhi's cooked. He played well as well. Very great fucking game, 20-15. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Kawhi's going to do, man. The Mavericks looked like they weren't even playing.
Would you bet on him being 100% after seeing this history? Like at this point, I'm so jaded with Kawhi. It's like my expectations for him in the playoffs are so low in terms of his availability and him reaching like his ceiling that I just have no confidence that he's going to be that guy who was a terror all season long. Just because we haven't seen it in 4 fucking years in the Clippers in the postseason.
He's still a Hall of Famer, though, right?
Of course. He's better
he's got less career points than Thaddeus Young.
Yep.
I'm going to just keep saying that until he retires. Until he passes Thad Young.
Until Thad Young retires or Kawhi?
Is Thad Young still in the league? No way.
I think he was floating around with Toronto this season.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I don't know. When Kawhi's on the court, hurt or not, like he's still one of the best players in the league. Even when he won the championship with Toronto, he was hurt. He was limping on the court. He's just really good. But I just don't think. I don't fucking know, man. They're a good team with or without him, but they're a great team with him. They're a really good team without him. But
and they do a great job buying, a game 1 victory without Kawhi.
Good. Shout out
next
Ty Lue,
question:
man.
Can Zubac survive? Luka has victimized them in all their other playoff matchups. Going small and taking Zubac off the court could be a problem against Daniel Gafford and Lively. Zubac probably had the playoff game of his career in game 1 where Luka was out of sorts. Do you think he can keep this pace up?
No, I don't think so. It's Luka Doncic. Like, what do you want? He's one of the best players in the league. I can't say he's the best. He's one of the best players in the league. He's behind Jokic and maybe nobody else. But history tells me he's going to cook Zubac. Zubac, though, keep doing your thing, bro. Gafford, my God. what the fuck was that? That was awful. He was playing great all season. He put Lively on the bench. But that performance, damn. No wonder OKC didn't want him. Jesus Christ. I mean, that was horrible. No rebounds?
They may
3
have
points?
to break Dwight Powell out of the plastic.
Oh, God. If they start doing that, if they start reaching like that, it's over. It's over. I don't know what to say. I really don't.
No, you don't think Zubac can survive.
No.
We're on the same page here. And then my last question. Can the Mavs find a third guy? You know, the Clippers, they have their 3 consistent stars. Then they got other guys who could pop in the playoffs in like a one-game setting. Westbrook, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann. The Mavs really need another guy besides Luka and Kyrie to go for 20 in order for them to win. They're hoping it could be Tim Hardaway Jr. They're hoping it could be P.J. Washington. They're hoping Gafford has a dominant game. But the thing is, we don't know who it's going to be night to night. Do you think the Mavs can find a third guy with enough consistency to win this series?
I think it's going to just have to be by committee, like Hardaway, P.J. Washington, you know, Lively, Gafford. Everybody's going to step up. They have to step up, like as a squad. Kleber, Exum. Everybody's got to do it as a team. But on the other end, I will say, I think this is a perfect fucking series for James Harden. Even though we know James Harden is a big time choker, he gave us 2 great games last year versus Boston. The Mavericks have been struggling guarding guards all year.
Mm-hmm. Except for the last 25 games of the season when they had a top 5 defense after the trade deadline.
Is it mostly Gafford, Derek Jones? Who's guarding Harden? I missed a decent amount of this game. I didn't watch a lot of it.
Dante Exum took a lot of it.
28 points, man. I don't know, bro. And if you got to play Exum, then that means you're losing something on the other end.
You think Harden's going to keep this up for fucking 7 games?
If Exum is going to be fucking guarding him. I mean, I love Exum, but he's not a fucking all-NBA defender. He was out of the league a couple of years ago. He's fucking playing in New Zealand or Australia or wherever. Like
last season. This time last year.
Yeah, so, I mean, if they got guys like that guarding him, it's done. Harden is going to score fucking 25 a game. And that's all you need with this team. He doesn't need to score like 35 a game because you got Paul George sneakily just putting in 20 like it's nothing. Zubac gave you a good game. I mean, everyone's going to step up for them. They need someone to step up for the Mavs. The Mavs, somebody's got to step up. It can't be Kyrie and Luka scoring 64 combined points. And that's it. And
I feel like we guarantee that they're going to go for 65 between the two of them, but they need another guy to hit 20. I feel like in this series.
You got to stop Harden, the playoff choker. Come on, guys.
What's your bottom line here for this series, Terry?
It's all about Kawhi. If Kawhi doesn't play, the Mavs are going to win. But if Kawhi plays, interesting series.
If he plays game 2, if he plays game 4,
he's got to be back by game 4 because they got 1 game without him. So if he's not back by game 4, they're going to lose.
Okay. I think that's
Luka's too good. Yeah, Luka's too good.
Yeah, I'm with you, dog. I think for me, I'm picking the Mavs in 7 in this one. Luka, the closest thing he had to Kyrie as a running mate was Jalen Brunson, and they went to the conference finals. The supporting cast, I feel like, is now as better now than it ever was. Considering Luka has more help than he's ever had before in his career, I like Dallas's chances. And I feel like that's especially true when the alternative is betting on Kawhi Leonard to stay healthy throughout this whole series. So,
yeah,
considering those two things, I'm taking the Mavs in 7.
I got Mavs in 6, but Luka, you can't give me this great season and then give me 33 points in the game. You scored 34 points a game in the regular season. I can't be having you go down.
1 point.
Hey, keep giving it to me, man. And you own the Clippers. Come on, dog. I need 38 a game. I need crazy shit.
It's coming.
You had to step it up, man. You lost by 12.
It's coming. I'll tell you that.
Come on, Luka.
All right, let's move on to the Eastern Conference then.
Boo.
Yeah.
The East sucks.
Not as exciting as our Western Conference matchups. let's start with the worst one, Terry. Let's just get it out of the way. The Boston Celtics is against the Miami Heat. The Heat are without Jimmy Butler for the whole series.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
They're without Terry Rozier for the whole series.
There it is. I called it. See you later. I love you. We got the same name, but goddamn it, I told you he played horrible all season, and
since moving to the Heat,
he's gone.
Yeah.
It's over for him, bro. The 6'2" guard is getting played out, bro.
It's not like they can hold on and be like, dude, if we just get to game 6 or 7, Jimmy Butler will be back and he'll take us to the promised land. Like, he's not coming back until midway through the second round, if that. Like,
yeah, it's over. The Heat run is done, bro.
I think so, man. I think it's time to pour a little out for the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I don't think we have to talk too much about the series. I'm
with you. I'm like, I have all these questions, but what do they really matter?
Yeah. Look, Spoelstra, if you're a great coach, you can win one game, So let's see what he's got as a coach. But besides that, Bam, let me see if you can score close to 28 points a game.
That was one of my questions. Can he take the next step as the offensive hub? Can they lean on him to get buckets?
I need him to do more. Because he's on Team USA,
Right.
The 12. He made the 12-man roster, the official. So I need something out of you. Bam. What you got? It's gonna be it's a tough ask though. It's probably a sweep.
My last question: can the Celtics iron out their fourth quarter hiccups?
Not in this series particularly, but
because they're already going to be up 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any clutch time fourth quarter hiccups.
Yeah, this is unfortunate because they don't really get to build, like 40 minutes of playoff game stamina for the starters. So it could be a tough second round series for them. Depending on who they play, but I don't know. Because, when Tatum almost got fucking tore his ACL when Caleb Martin bum rushed him when he was trying to get a rebound, everybody was asking why is he still in the game when they're up 20 in the fourth. It's because they got to get some playoff minutes in them. They got to get their legs right. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a tough environment, but unfortunately, this isn't the series, man. I think just give the boys 34 minutes, get them out of there, win the game, go on to the second round.
Are you picking a sweep?
Yeah, this is a big sweep. Get your brooms out. Get the big brooms out, the push brooms.
Yeah. I'm picking Celtics in 3.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's done.
Sixers versus the Knicks. This one went down last night, game 2. For transparency's sake, the New York Knicks escaped with a 2-0 series lead.
God, that was the most stressful shit I've ever watched in my life. Reggie Miller, the ghost of Reggie Miller. We snatched his soul. We took it back from him. Maxey flopping like a fish. Yeah, man. Hey,
did you see that the Sixers are like filing a formal like appeal against the refereeing?
It's not going to happen.
Game 2. I was like, I don't know what you think is going to happen with this appeal, but they're not going to make you replay the game. Like, you might as well just complain and just get hosed.
What do you want to appeal? Like, Embiid is hurt. You want him to just keep playing games with this fucking
right
floppy
Let's make
knee?
him play an extra one.
Come on, bro. Let him play. Let him ball out for Team USA. You guys are wasting time. Get him off the court. This is actually making me upset. It really is. I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that he still is fucking just crushing. Like, he is still he's playing still great defense. Still offensively, he's destroying us.
And he's not even close to being right.
No, it's God, bro. Is he better than Jokic?
Got to see it in the playoffs, my brother.
That's true. But god damn, bro. What was he before he got hurt? What was he getting, like 33 a game, something like that?
It's been the typical Joel Embiid shit. You know what I mean? Like, regular season, he scores more points than minutes per game. Then, of course, he gets hurt into the playoffs. Doesn't look the same going back to the playoffs. Game 1 has some really bright moments, dominates while he's on the court, and then hurts himself throwing an alley-oop attempt to himself off the backboard in the fourth quarter.
Wait, that was awesome, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was crazy. I think the craziest one I've ever seen was the LeBron one that he did in the finals versus the Warriors. And he that was like after he already broke his fucking hand or whatever he did when he punched a fucking fire extinguisher or some dumb shit. No, that was Amari Stoudemire. He just punched the wall. My bad. But yeah, I don't know, man. This Embiid shit is just, it sucks. We don't really get to see like.
He hasn't been the same guy in the postseason hit any year.
He's always hurt. He's just always hurt, man. It sucks. I fucking hate that he got hurt versus Brooklyn last year too. That really pissed me off because like he didn't even have to play in that series. If we're being realistic, like they were not a good team. They traded everybody away. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, just stop playing them. Like, what Embiid? I don't understand why you're even playing. Like, what you can get in shape after the season to get ready for the fucking Olympics. You know?
Excuse me, they're trying to win in the playoffs, sir. They're not Knicks fans on the other side of this.
Oh God.
Other questions that I have, Terry. I think both of us agree that Embiid, even hobbled, has still been dominant. Can the Knicks bench dominate? I feel like the Knicks,
McBride.
They got waves of players. McBride was, playing like his hair was on fire in game one. They're 9 deep, and any one of Bogdanovich, DiVincenzo, McBride, or Anunoby could hit 5 threes. The Sixers bench, suspect, dog. Are we really relying on DeAnthony Melton to return from injury and Kyle Lowry to have a renaissance and Nick Batum to go off for 20 every game and B-ball Paul Reed to play like 30 minutes a game?
What's up with Buddy Hield? Is he hurt?
I feel like he just can't defend. And they're like, dude, that's cool if you're going to fucking make 6 threes in a game. But if you're going to shoot 4 shots in a postseason game and you can't keep anybody in front of you, why do we have you out here?
Yeah, you got to do something. And he was supposed to be the missing link for the Lakers. But yeah, it's tough, man.
Will your bench dominate? What you think?
Versus these guys?
Yeah.
It's still going to be like closer than what you think. Like even game one, like almost everything went perfectly and we still didn't win by that much. Like the Sixers are still a good team. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
We still got to scrap for everyone. It's not going to be easy. But I don't think we're going to dominate in any facet. It's going to be a scrappy game, kind of like how it was, this last game. 104-101.
Yeah, but again, you guys won the bench minutes by a ton. Game 1 and game 2. It's like with Embiid on the quarter, you guys are not exactly dominant. But as soon as he steps off the court, you guys go on runs every time.
No, we do. But last night, it wasn't the greatest showing from the bench. I'll say that. It was 16 points total. Mitchell Robinson got a free throw. Congratulations. McBride, he played okay again. But I don't know, man. I'm still a little weary because Embiid is honestly, even hurt, is still probably the best player in the fucking series. Like, shout out to Brunson, but they're kind of giving Brunson a very fucking hard time. So it's not going to be as easy as I think. I still think it might be a sweep, but I'll go 5 out of respect for Embiid.
I had one more question. You asshole.
Go ahead. Embiid's hurt. What do you want me to do?
Getting right to the prediction. I haven't even given my question. And I know you're going to like this question, Terry, because you're going to have to marinate on it for a little while, I think. Are the Knicks a better postseason team without Julius Randle?
No. It limits the team. There's certain things that Randle does that we can't make up. Like, we don't have a power forward that does what he does.
Who are we going to get to shoot all these long twos after we jab step 6 times?
It's not the offensive dumb shit. It's more the rebounds on the other end. Like, does he slow the game down? Yeah. Does he slow the game down in certain parts? Like, shout out to Josh Hart for doing what he does. 15 rebounds, 21 points. Beautiful. He's a great rebounding guard. They got him listed as a forward now because our team is just tiny as shit. He's 6'4".
You think Randall's putting up fucking 21 and 15?
Nah, but he's getting 12 rebounds. Easy.
Yeah, Josh Hart got 15.
Hey, beautiful. Love it. But he's not Julius Randle. For as much as I love Josh Hart is a big reason why we lost to the Heat last year. Missed every single fucking wide open corner 3. after making all of them in the first round versus Cleveland. I like him. He's scrappy, but he's not Julius Randle, though. Like, Julius Randle, has he played horrible for us in the playoffs? Yeah, but I just like the size, bro. It's like a different dimension of, playing basketball. You can throw up a different lineup that can do different things. So
I tried to lead you on this one. I tried to lay some breadcrumbs down and lead you astray, and you weren't having it, Terry. I'm with you. I think that, like, maybe for a round, they're a better postseason team without Randall, but not for 3 or 4. And they're going to need him to contribute if they want to achieve their ultimate goal. And they're going to need that type of offensive versatility and a guy who can bully on the block and hit threes and rebound, like you mentioned, and take the load off of Brunson, who can't sustain this for 4 series in a row. Maybe just against the Sixers, they look better without Randall, but not when you get to the later rounds.
No, if we play like the Bucks or the Celtics, like that's when we need them. But we'll see. It's not over yet. But I say 5. You say whatever you want. If you got another question, go for it. But this is short. Whole East.
I'm going Knicks in 6. The bottom line 6. For me is that, I mean, this is not a pushover. I don't think, even with the Embiid's, not being at 100%. I just feel like ultimately they're not going to be able to slow Jalen Brunson down consistently. I know they've thrown the kitchen sink at him in the first 2 games.
They definitely have.
Over the course of 6-7 games, I'm not sure who's going to be guarding Brunson, but I know that it cannot be Kyle Lowry or Tyrese Maxey if they want to win the series. So Embiid isn't healthy once again, and he will not be able to drag Philadelphia's shitty-ass bench to the next round. The Knicks are too deep. They're too competitive. They're too well-rounded. I got them going through in 6.
Do you look at Embiid differently if he wins the series?
No. It's a fucking first-round series. This guy's the reigning MVP of the league. We're going to celebrate him winning in the first round like he got an NBA championship. You should have an NBA championship. You're a goddamn MVP who's wilted in the playoffs every single year. No, I'm not throwing a parade for the first round. Get the fuck out of here.
He was hurt, man.
He's always hurt. That's the problem, Terry. He's always hurt. When has he not been hurt?
So is he not one of your top 5 favorite players anymore?
No, I absolutely love him. But it's like at this point, I'm starting to get sad. I'm starting to be like, he's never going to fucking realize the potential that he has. Every single year, there's going to be another year of his prime lost because, I got hit in the orbital bone and fractured it and got a concussion. I threw myself an alley-oop off the backboard and landed wrong on my knee. Like, every year, it's something else with this guy, and he's never at 100% when you need him. And, I absolutely love watching him play, and I'm sick of fucking waiting. When's it going to happen? When is he going to be the guy that broke Wilt Chamberlain's point-per-minute record in the playoffs? When does that come?
Yeah. There's not much you can do about injuries, but I will say everyone needs to take a fucking page out of Nikola Jokic's book. Stop jumping.
Don't jump. Yeah. Don't leave the ground. If you don't
you're already
leave the
7
ground,
feet tall.
You're not going to get hurt.
You're already 7 feet tall. Just tippy-toe it.
And there's no need to jump. I have a different strategy. Every time I do leave the ground, I make sure that I fall all the way down back onto the ground.
But that's the thing, though. Like, the self-alley was awesome. And then he got hurt, and I was like, God damn it. Why couldn't you just shoot a fucking floater?
Right.
Dipshit. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. What we got? Cleveland Magic?
Pacers and Bucks.
Pacers, Bucks. Yikes.
Got the 3 and the 6. The Pacers, as we all know, dominated this matchup in the regular season.
They did.
Dominated them in the in-season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that was when Adrian Griffin was the coach. Also, the Bucks have looked worse since getting rid of Adrian Griffin and getting Doc Rivers. But at least he's fixed their transition defense, which is what killed them against the Pacers. My first question for them, can Halliburton get his groove back? He's been cold from 3. We mentioned it. He shot 21% from 3 since the All-Star break. He shot 17% from 3 in March. In game 1, he was timid. He had 9 points on just 7 shots, had 8 assists.
Yeah.
9 and 8 are numbers you'd expect from Draymond Green, not from the catalyst of one of the best 3 offenses in the league.
Triple single.
Yeah. But if he gets going again, if he catches that rhythm, he has the potential to be the best player on the floor. Do you think Halliburton gets his groove back in this series?
I think he will, just because of the perimeter defense. I mean, the Bucks have kind of, like you said, fixed
you don't
the
have
transition.
confidence in Dame Lillard and Pat Connaughton and Wesley to be defensive stoppers and Malik Beasley?
Nah, I don't think so. But transition-wise, you are right. Like, they have kind of fixed some of that. And it's the playoffs. Like, you're not going to get a lot of that transition stuff anyways. But the loss with no Giannis is kind of concerning. Like, let's just be real. The Pacers they've been playing like dog shit since, like January? You know?
Yeah. I mean, Siakam's been playing well. I feel like the team has been fine. It's just been Halliburton who's been in his own head, it seems like.
Yeah, the shooting is kind of bad. But what was the injury though? Was it like a shoulder or a knee, or I don't remember what the injury was.
I thought it was a lower body thing, like a calf. I mean, I read an article with him where he's like, dude, the first 15 games or whatever after I came back, like I felt awkward. But now I'm just in my own head. Like he's like, I feel fine. I'm just not making the shots that I normally make, and I'm not taking them with the same confidence.
Yeah. So the Bucks are 4-5 without Giannis this year. All time, 40% win percentage. And the Pacers just lost without him. So, deuces. Like the Pacers, they're not the same team, bro. They're just not. Like Siakam is not a number one option.
How many games do you think that Giannis misses? I feel like that's the first. I should have went there first when we talk about this series, because if he returns by game 6, I think they're out of time. But if Giannis returns by game 4,
you think the Pacers are going to win without Giannis?
Without Giannis, I think the Pacers have beaten him. I think
the Pacers are going to win the series?
Me, it's almost like the Kawhi shit. I think for me, if Giannis gets back by game 4, I'm going to take the Bucks, because the worst they can be by game 4 is 2-1 or 1-2, because they they already won game 1. So even if they lose the next 2 with Giannis back, I still would take the Bucks to win at 7, but he's got to come back by game 4.
You think this is going to get pushed to 7 games?
I got Bucks in 7.
Wow. I mean, the Pacers, they just don't look like the same team, dude. They're not playing with the same pace. The shooting is bad. Without Halliburton really like playmaking like he was before, all the other guys look kind of stoppable. Their bench doesn't really look great. Neesmith doesn't look. Everybody's been playing pretty bad. Miles Turner really hasn't stepped up since Halliburton hasn't played well. I mean, Siakam is doing his thing, but like I said,
disagree more. I'm on the complete opposite side of this from you.
I feel
like
man.
TJ McConnell has been sensational coming off their bench, especially finishing at the rim. I think Siakam has really grown into his own.
That's what I said. Siakam is good. That's all I can give you. No one else.
I think Neesmith might be a good bet to lead the first round in flagrant fouls, and it's going to add some toughness.
They're going to have to give me something, bro. That game 1 performance was sad as fuck.
And I do think Halliburton gets his groove back. Just like you said. I mean, you were like, I think he gets his groove back. They're guarding him with Dame Lillard and fucking Malik Beasley. I think if he gets rolling, this is a best of 7 series, especially if
everybody put your watches up. Everybody put your watches up. You know what time it is.
It's Dame time. Can he sustain the scoring load, Terry? He had 35 in the first half. He had 0 in the second half of game 1. With Giannis out, they're going to need him to step up.
Look at his scoring against the Pacers this whole year.
Yeah, look at the Bucks' record against the Pacers.
I know. I'm just saying, though. Maybe they don't need Giannis. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't say that. They're a good team, though. You know what I'm saying? They are a good team. I don't know if Pat Bev is the fucking answer to being the starting.
Are they a good team? Because they've been minus 500 since Doc Rivers took over.
I blame Giannis for most of it. Okay.
I blame him by campaigning to hire Adrian Griffin and then campaigning to fire Adrian Griffin. And
it was kind of weird.
Letting the best coach of the bunch, Terry Stotts, get in an argument and leave in preseason. That's what I blame him
Crazy.
for.
Stotts definitely should have been the guy. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a confusing one, but I just think the Pacers have just been playing without like I don't like the effort. Something's off. I don't know what it is. Of course, we may know after the season, like something might go down. But you know what's the dude who said the shit? We never hear NBA stories until like the season is over or until like motherfuckers retire. But in the NFL, you always get the leak on everything.
Yeah. We don't hear it in the NBA until you go on Jeff Teague's podcast.
Something's going on, bro. They played really bad the last 2 months of the season. I don't know what's going on. It can't just be the Halliburton injury, bro. It can't.
I mean, it's a big difference from having 30 and 20 and 20 and 10. You know what I mean? And those are the differences between the games he's having. Bucks and 6. I'm going Bucks and 7. Again, Giannis has to come back by game 4. You know, if he sits this whole one out, I don't think they got the horses, dog. It all depends on the Greek Freak, like it always does, man. That's why he's the top 4 player in the league.
No, you're right. Shit, top 3? Top 4? Is he top 3?
He's top 4 this year. But he did a lot of adjusting to be, letting Dame Lillard have a big piece of that limelight.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job.
We're definitely thinking about him a little differently if he kind of does the same thing he did last year with this injury thing. He might start to creep more towards the
don't say it.
Top 30 all time instead of what we thought he was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a nice trajectory going. And now it's just it's kind of fading. People are forgetting about him. He had a great season this year. And everybody's like,
Yeah. Team record. That'll do it to you.
Yeah, man.
You lose the 2 seed.
If you didn't get 50 wins in the East, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep moving. Last one. I said Bucks and 6.
Mercifully, I think this is our last one, Terry. The worst series in the entire playoffs. The Cavs versus the Magic.
The disrespect. The NBA TV champions.
Yeah, only because the Hawks didn't make it from the play-in. My number one question for this series: how much juice does Donovan Mitchell's knee have? When he's healthy, he's the best player in the series. But for the second half of the season, he was pretty hobbled. He did look a bit bouncier in game 1 and had 30 points of 11 of 21 shooting. I watched about 15 minutes of game 2 before my eyeballs fell out of my head. And I was like, I can't do this to my body anymore.
It's horrible basketball, isn't it? I was like, am I in the 90s?
Oh, my goodness.
Am I in the early 2000s? What's going on?
The Magic's, let's just get right to it, man. The Magic's half-court offense is...
Oh, God.
This is what they do to, like, prisoners of war, is that they strap you to a chair and they use those sutures to keep your eyeballs open, and then they just watch you make... They make you watch the Magic's half-court offense.
Oh, my God.
83 points is what they scored in the first game. That is fucking
86.
terrible.
86.
No, game 1.
Did they play 2 games?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. Oh, God. I forgot.
Yeah. Dude, they finished behind 92 times. And
oh, my God.
That of those 83 points, Terry, 18 were fast break points from 17 turnovers. Their half-court rating per 100 possessions was 63 points per 100 plays. For context, the league average this season was 99 points per 100. The worst half-court offense was Portland's at 89. Over 2 games, bro, they are at 62 points per 100 possessions in the half-court.
Damn, dude. I mean, when you watch it, it looks really bad. I'm not going to lie.
You can't watch it. You can't love the game and watch this.
Hey, it's a part of basketball, man. Yeah. Who do you blame? Is it Paolo's bad shot selection? Is it Franz not being able to shoot from the outside anymore? Jalen Suggs really isn't a great offensive guy.
This is why I wasn't high on Orlando going into this season. And, we know in a regular season, playing way harder than other people.
Yeah, you're going to get some wins.
being a super long physical team, that's going to help elevate you. The problem is in the playoffs, everyone plays harder and everyone's more physical. So it's like this thing that was your trump card that you did so much better than everyone else is no longer like really exceptional because everybody is doing it. And without you guys like keeping teams under 100, I mean, fuck. You kept both of your the Cavs games under 100 points. You lost both of them by a significant margin. Like Franz Wagner can't shoot. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. He's hitting 19% of his threes. They got no spacing whatsoever. Jalen Suggs got hurt. Jonathan Isaac, you know, all he wants to do is be around the rim, just like everyone else on this team.
Yeah.
Fucking Paolo Banchero might be the best shooter, and he's hot and cold, and you never know what you're going to get night to night.
He's streaky.
And guess who's waiting at the rim for these guys? Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
Yep. It's going to be ugly. The whole series is going to be absolutely disgusting.
63 points per 100 possessions.
Yo, it's a tough watch, bro. I ain't going to lie. Thank God the Cavs are up 2-0. They might get them out of here quick. Please get them out of here quick.
Yeah, we're not trying
Donovan,
to watch
we
this.
need you.
My last
Donovan,
question.
we need you.
Well, your boy Bernie Bickerstaff, a.k.a. JB Bickerstaff, split up the Twin Towers.
I don't know, man. I cannot get inside his head. I don't know what he sees, you know? I mean, like, I get why some coaches do what they do, but for him, I really just never understand why he does what he does. But in this series, he might get away with the dumb fucking rotational shit. So,
bro, they're starting Georges Niang on fucking Paolo Banchero. Like, this is how they're like, you know what? This is plan A. And the crazy thing is it's fucking working.
Kinda. It kinda is. Because he's still playing okay. He's still playing decent. But Paolo is just he's gonna shoot dumbass shots anyways. That's why he's not on Team USA's roster. Like, they're like, nah, we actually need to win. We can't do the development shit this year. Like, we can't do it. But I don't know. Just Cleveland, get it over with. I don't even want to do analysis, dog. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I can't fucking. I started watching the first half of game 1, and I was like, yo, what am I watching right now? I cannot do this. I'm turning this off.
You're watching a construction union, a meeting.
You're right. I started watching HGTV. I'd rather watch fucking Property Brothers than this shit.
Right.
This shit is crazy.
If you guys are going to be laying down bricks all game, I'd rather see 2 gay twins tell me about
it. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Property Brothers. Yeah, bro. Cavs, please win. But realistically, though, this is probably going to go. It's probably going to go 7. I'll still take the Cavs.
What?
But hey, man. It's going to go to Orlando. They're going to get a little bump. They'll probably win the first 2 games, and it's going to be tied up. Mark my words. It'll be tied up when they go back to Cleveland. What do you think? You think Cleveland's going to take it?
Please, basketball gods, have mercy on my eyeballs. I do not need to let this go 7 games. Do not do this to the people. I got Cavs in 5. I just feel like no one on Orlando can score consistently. Their defense based on effort and physicality, which the Cavs are going to play with the same amount of effort and physicality as they are, except the Cavs have people who can actually score the basketball. And if they want, you know, who knows if Bickerstaff will ever do this, but they can have a functional half-court offense. They have Strus, who can shoot it. Yep. They have Dean Wade, who could shoot it. They have
he didn't play in the second game.
That other fucking white guy, whose name escapes me, who could shoot it.
Niang?
No, he's French. I'm talking about a white.
Oh. Well, none of these guys played in game 2.
Yeah,
which is weird.
And they haven't had to. So it's like I just feel like they have a lot more cards to play, and if they need to get some buckets, they can go fucking 4 out, 1 in, and break up Evan and Mobley and Allen, and they can get the spacing. But Orlando is like, where are you going to go? What are you going to turn to? How are you going to manage? You going to call Jet Howard out of the G League? Is that going to be your solution?
No, that's true. I will say, though, like, for Cleveland, if they do manage to win game 3, then, like, for the next games or so, I would tinker with some lineups and see, kind of look at the on-offs, see what you can do, you know, to kind of help help yourselves going forward because I think they do have a good team. Like the team structurally, look on paper, they look fine. You know, Strus kind of fixes that small forward position for them. So like Mobley, start shooting some outside shots. You know, if you guys are up 20 in this game 3,
Bro, he
start doing
can't
different
even make
shit.
his fucking free throws. I don't want you taking no outside shots.
You gotta do something different because you two guys cannot be on the court
And
at the same fucking time.
Sorry,
Offensively.
just as an aside, I can't stand this fucking Cleveland Cavaliers broadcast.
Why
Like,
not? You don't like the L Train guy?
bro, they just keep talking about how Mobley is the next Kevin Garnett, like over and over and over all game. And they're just like, he has a lot more in his bag on offense that he's just waiting to show you. And they're like, does he? Because he's shooting 50% on his free throws. Because he shoots terrible from 2-point range. He stopped shooting threes. His back to the basket game is non-existent. It's like, when is Kevin Garnett gonna, pop out of this guy's body? Because I'm not fucking seeing it.
Look, it just everybody, national media too. If somebody's starting to show some promise, just let him play basketball. Stop it with the Scotty Barnes is better than, fucking can't trade him for KD shit. Ben Simmons, it was the same shit. Evan Mobley, it's too much. Just let the guy ball. And then when he starts playing bad, don't hop off the bandwagon. Let him develop, man. Everybody's got to chill out. I hate this like hot, cold take fucking industry that we're in.
That's far too
It's
rational,
insane.
Terry. That makes way too much sense. That makes way
Let
too
the
much
kid
sense for
develop.
everyone to adopt. No,
And stop acting like y'all watching them play anyways. You ain't watching Cleveland. You watching Cleveland play 30 basketball games? Stop it.
listen,
the fuck
he's
outta
either Kevin Garnett or he's Michael Olowokandi, and there's no
No in between.
Right. That's
He
it.
can't be fucking Jaren Jackson.
No,
He can't
impossible.
be just a normal basketball player. All right, cool. Is he gonna make an all-star team?
Not according to the Cleveland broadcast, who are waiting with bated breath for him to become a Hall of Famer tomorrow night.
Is he gonna make an all-star team?
Yeah.
You think
Evan
so?
Mobley?
Yeah. 15
At this-
points a game. He only played 50 games this year, so
I
that's
tell you
tough,
what,
but
he needs to play with I know that you guys are like, oh, here comes the Hawks goggles. He needs to play with a guy like Trae Young, who can just spoon feed him fucking buckets, and he can cover up for all Trae Young's terrible.
he
lack
could
of
play with a guy
screen
like
out.
Mike Conley.
Stop.
Somebody who can give you the ball.
Yeah, I would say more like somebody who gives you easy ass buckets, not just gets. Because the thing about Mike Conley is he's going to get you the ball in your spots. But what really are Evan Mobley's spots?
The basket, right there.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't bet against this right now. I feel like Mobley, everyone wants to do the Kevin Garnett type of shit. You might want to be doing the Nicholas Claxton comparisons.
Damn, that's tough. 15 a game though. He's that young.
Whew.
He's a good defender though. So I don't know
He's
who
an
he is.
excellent defender, but
Yeah.
they got to break up this too big shit because, I don't know what their fascination is with it in Cleveland, but it's not going to take them where they want to go. It'll take you past the Orlando Magic, but, beyond that, I don't think anyone's picking them in the second round against any of these teams.
His inability to stretch the floor does kind of mess up everything. And he's skinny as hell. So he can't stop Jokic and Embiid, Sabonis, Şengün. They're all kind of punishing him. And then, even Valanciunas and them, he's small, bro. He can't beat a center by himself. He's either be great offensively or you're fucked. Go ahead.
I got one last question for us to wrap up this whole discussion with. Give me one player who you think their stock goes way up after watching this first round, and give me one player who you think stock goes down after watching
Through the whole
first
playoffs?
round. No, just the first round. All these matchups.
No, that's what I'm saying. All the teams, not just Cleveland, Orlando.
No, yeah, all the teams in the first round. Put a bow on
stock
it.
goes up. I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
It's between Anthony Edwards and probably stock wise, I'll go Jalen Brunson.
In
The
terms
stock
of
is
going
already
down.
no. Like just also like a guy it can go
Oh,
up
okay.
again.
All right.
Even though Philly's hurt. Well, nah, not Jalen Brunson. I'll go Paulo Banchero if they beat Cleveland.
Oh, okay. If he finally gets his scoring form and they lead
Yeah,
past
yeah.
Cleveland. Okay.
If he's playing well.
I can see that. And then who do you think is on the down escalator?
Giannis
Mm,
and I'm not gonna say LeBron. He's already cemented. I'll go Devin Booker.
okay. Yeah, if Anthony Edwards surpasses him, that's a good one.
If he gets cooked, like game
Right.
1, Anthony Edwards 33, Devin Booker 18. That's come on.
All
Come
right.
on, bro.
I like those
Or
answers.
Tatum.
I think stock going up for me would be Jalen Williams.
Love that.
Yep. I think he kind of like ascends into that. This guy is an actual star and not just like
Mhm.
a really good starter. And then stock going down. I feel like I can't say Gobert every year.
Nah, that'd be tough.
I'm going to go with a esoteric one right here, Terry. I'm going with Josh Giddey in terms of stock down. I'm sticking all OKC on this one. I feel like Isaiah Joe is going to wiggle his way into this starting lineup, and Josh Giddey is
Wow.
going to be the white guy left out in the cold staring at young little girls.
It's possible. Allegedly. It's possible. I gotta say it. Or they're gonna
Allegedly.
take it.
Right, allegedly.
Yeah. Those are good ones. Overall, though, we'll see. Who you got? Championship? You're going Nuggets or what? I don't know if we said anything.
Are we
about
doing that? You want to do that?
Let's just do it so we can get it on wax. Because I don't remember if we did it preseason or not. We're already an hour 50 in. I don't want it to be long. Just go fast.
Well, I'm going to be boring, Terry. I'm going Nuggets over Celtics.
Oh, hey, man. They're the best teams. You know? And look, if
I
the
just feel
Celtics
like-
don't make the finals, like, come on. What are we doing here? Go
Took
ahead.
the words out of my mouth. Like, I just think they have the easiest path to the finals of maybe any team in the last 10 years that I've seen.
Yeah. No, that's true. You're right, bro. Like, everyone looks like a contender in a way, but I don't see people beating the Nuggets in 7, man. I really don't. So I think I might have to agree with you, dude. I think it's the same thing because every other team has such a big flaw. You know, like I just don't see them taking it all the way. Like the talent is great everywhere, but OKC, you know what their flaw is. The fucking Minnesota, you know what their flaw is. Suns, we already know. It's just everybody's just got like a glaring flaw, and the Nuggets don't, and the Celtics really don't. So
Man, as long as they stay healthy, I mean that's the biggest thing, right?
that is
If-
true.
If
But that's
somebody
for- that's
gets
for
hurt,
everybody,
that
though.
could derail everything. But if all
Yeah.
things remain as they are now, I'm taking Nuggets over Celtics. Well, guys, that was our all NBA teams. That was our first round NBA playoff preview. We will be back on. You want to do it on Friday instead of Thursday after the NBA or the NFL draft, so we can cover some of that stuff.
Whenever you got time, I'm in
All
there.
right. We'll be back Friday. We'll recap the NFL draft. We'll talk a little bit more about these first round series and where there's going.
Yep. Yep.
And then we'll be back next week to preview round 2 with all of you then.
Until then,
North Carolina, continue to stand up.
peace.